Guys, we are live. We are here. It's Tuesday.
What is up? Yeah,
it's 8:30.
It feels like Monday.
I think it always every day is Monday for me.
Very much so.
Yeah. What's up with you, Dave? What's been going on in Dave's world? Everybody wants to know.
Not a lot. A lot of barbecue last weekend. A lot of barbecue. A lot of saluting to the ones who lost their lives, put their lives on the line to us. And other than that, man, just relaxing one weekend before I kick into tournament mode again this month. So
Nice. What do you got coming up, Dave?
I've got Poga. Got Poga Extreme on Poga, and have a couple more weeks after that, and we'll be back over to Kissimmee again for our last one, Justin Morgan and I. So hopefully we can get a little bit better weather and pick up the big sticks and get after some fish over there.
Well, listen, y'all didn't have too bad of a run this last time.
No, we didn't. And the kid showed me a little something too. Taught me a little something on the weekend. Just that RSB. I mean, we was rigging it up the same way. I was putting a little tear in the tail, and he didn't, and gave that body a little extra action. Where mine was having a lot more thump in the tail, and it definitely paid off, man. I mean, he was smoking me, dude. 5 bags RSB worms. I mean, the kid was putting a clinic on, man. So it was a good weekend. We caught a lot of fish, and I caught a lot of fish in the net.
So you caught them?
Yeah. Technically, I caught all the fish.
Dave caught all the fish.
I think, minus I think he netted about 3 of mine. But
hey, teamwork.
Yeah. Hey, I still caught about 9-10 fish. I mean, I'm good. I threw a 4-pounder in the box in the last few minutes, so I'm solid.
Hey, as long as you contributed, man. You don't want to be like me. You don't want to be like me and throw no fish in the live.
Yeah, I was throwing them bags of Chico's Red Ear. I was netting his fish. Can I rub your shoulders a little bit?
You wipe the sweat off them and stuff. Cool.
Heck yeah.
You got to keep your partner in good shape.
I'm telling you, man. Hey, let me rub them arms down. I don't need no buildup. Lactic buildup in those arms, those muscles.
He is cheesing in the background right now. Wait till
I'm mad, dude. I'm mad. He's a good shit, man. He's a good kid, dude. I'll tell you. He'll tell you about the story about old Biggs, man. He had old Biggs on a jig. And,
we're gonna get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that one. I'm gonna let him talk to y'all about that one and how excited he got excited on it.
So Andrew, we got Dave and Justin catching giant fish. I just took out about 10 boats. I just took out about 10 boats last night with one fish, 6.5 pounds on the tap out. Thanks to Dave's little secret there. All fair secret. Can't tell anybody.
It was all fair secret, huh?
All fair secret, bud.
Fair secret.
It wasn't the one I need, but
no. And Mike does have those at Lake Placid Marine, by the way, because I did see them.
Good. I'm planning on getting down there Friday if everything works out.
They're on the face of the aisle.
Okay, I know exactly where they'll be then.
Yep.
But Andrew, biggest fish this week. What's your number?
Dude, somebody's gonna hold down the fort. I ain't even fishing yet. It must be nice to get out on the water, guys. I just, I'm grateful that I'm in this position just to make sure that y'all can go fishing. Because that's
this is the guy that rides his husband to the lake every night.
Don't worry, Andrew. You stick around enough. We'll learn some things, bud. Trust me.
And he did learn a little bit. Man. He pulled out that booger man. He pulled that booger man out. He learned a little bit.
He's hooked on the buzzbait bite now.
I was pretty excited over that one. I wasn't even mad that he jumped and flung it. I was just like, yes. Like, it's the confidence that it works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's, like, I was like stoked.
It really is. It really is. If you don't have any, if you ain't catching any fish on the lures you're throwing, you don't have any confidence in them. So
no, if I would have went out there and like caught one fish and then like threw it for another half hour and nothing happened, I'd have been like, I'll give it another shot later. But now I just leave it tied on.
Gotta have it tied.
I got some good news, and whenever we're ready to bring Justin on, Bass Assassin has a new little bait that they've had it for a while, but they're running freshwater colors in it, and will be available to the public here in a couple weeks. So,
cool. Well, I guess no better time than the present to bring on old Mr. Justin Morgan. Let me add him.
What's going on, guys?
There he is.
Hey,
how's it going, man?
What's up, golden boy?
So, did Dave take care of you?
That's golden boy right there.
Did Dave treat you right on the water? Did he get your shoulders rubbed down, keep the ice on your neck?
Oh man, well there come a point after I put like 20 fish in the boat.
That's a fact.
He'd come up there with a wet rag and start wiping me down, give me a little massage.
Good.
Yeah, it had to keep me going,
Ice cold drinks,
Yeah. The pizza. Yeah.
The pizza, yeah.
Pizza.
Oh, geez.
Hold on. You guys had pizza out there? How did this work?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was easy. Just stuff a bunch of them in a damn 1 gallon Ziploc bag.
I'm saying we're talking about Dave here. Anything goes.
Come on, man.
Oh,
surprised it wasn't barbecue or something.
Yeah, right. That's what I was expecting. Dave will have a smoker on the back of his boat. Trust me. just go.
Yeah. They might as
I'm
well
gonna pull that little Traeger, that little tailgating Traeger out there, baby. Don't fool yourself.
It'll work. It'll work.
Get yourself.
So Justin, what you got going on, bud? What happened? What happened that day? Because you had a nice little sack, but apparently, from what I hear, you had her on. You had the one on that you needed, and something went wrong somewhere.
Yeah, man, dude. I mean, we wouldn't have won it with that fish, but we'd have jumped up, a couple places with it. But missing a fish happens every tournament. I mean, but dude, we pulled up to this pad patch, and I flipped the jig in, and the whole thing just moved from side to side, and I hopped that jig up, and she went boom. And I don't know, you guys ate fish with me, but David has. I get a little excited sometimes. And,
if he sees it, watch out.
I reared back. I tried to light that thing up, and as soon as I got tension on it, I slacklined her real hard, and it just popped my line.
Son of a gun.
Yeah.
Did you ever see it? Did it ever break surface? Or?
It boiled on top of the water. It hit like as soon as it moved the whole patch, and as soon as I hopped it up, she boiled on it when she hit it, and she was a big one. I don't know how big she was, but she was definitely one of those Kissimmee big ones. So
nice stuff.
Yeah.
So from my understanding, the Chico's Ready or RSB is what got it done for you guys, though.
Yeah, dude, that thing was killer, man. I've been catching them down here on Okeechobee on it. I mean, that color. I mean, you can go to Fast Break; they're sold out of it. But it's just been really good. And I took it up there. We were fishing Kissimmee, and we were throwing some chatterbaits in the morning and stuff. And I said, you know what? I wonder if they'll eat this thing this morning. I rigged it up, and I never put it down the rest of the day. So I think we went through like 5 or 6 packs of them. They were eating it.
Yeah, they were eating it good. And Justin, go into a little bit of detail on how you were rigging it, man, because I'll tell you, it made the world of difference. I mean, it was out fishing me ridiculously.
Yeah. I mean, I put a 1/4 ounce flat out tungsten on it with a bobber stopper, and just rigged it horizontal. I actually got one right here. So I just rig it. A lot of times people will rig it with the tail down. They'll try to keep it in a straight line. And with this one, you kind of just rig it horizontal. And I use a 4-aught flipping hook in it. And David was tearing the tails, but I just kind of left it as is. And if you leave it, the whole tail will wobble when you're swimming it through the water. So instead of the tail just thumping, the whole thing kind of moves side to side. And I think that's the main reason I was getting so many bites versus David. But dude, this thing coming through the water, when you hook it like that, the whole thing just moves side to side, and it's a killer bait.
Now,
definitely had an impact on our fishing for a fact.
Yeah.
Now, is that worm designed to be rigged that way? Because like you said, Justin, a lot of swimming worms are designed for that tail hook to be rigged down. Or is that something that you just stumbled upon?
I talked to Robin from Bass Assassin, and he kind of, he was one that kind of said, hey man, try rigging it horizontal. And because I always fish tail down. All my speed worms, I always fish them tail down. You line the lines up on them. And so I started rigging it horizontal after I got off the phone with him, and I started throwing it, and it makes a world of difference. It brings that whole worm to life.
That's just so.
Yeah, Robin is known, like when he drops baits, he's always out there testing a bunch of different ways. He's old school, and someone like that, has a lot of input for guys like us out on the water because, he's lived it. Justin never would have thought about rigging it that way. I never would have thought about rigging it that way.
Me neither.
Why would you rig it sideways like that? And like Justin said, we rig it tail down.
Yeah.
I feel it gets a lot more bites that way, but nah, man, it's something with that worm, that style that Robin put the time in to figure out. And of course, he tells all the staffers to get out there and promote it, and talk to the tackle shops and talk to the guys, talk to people on how to rig it, and put our work in, earn our sponsorship kind of a thing, and educate, put little videos out there. And so it's something that Justin and I really don't want to share, but on the other hand, it's all for it's all that our sponsors deliver to us. So
that's super unique. And you think that attributes to, like you were saying, Dave and Justin, that it makes that body move just a little bit more?
Yeah, the actual tail part doesn't kick as much. But when you rig it that way and you leave everything as is, it wants to go into a wobble. And if you've ever fished with speed worms, that's the key difference in a speed worm versus a good one and a bad one is one that wobbles. If you got one that wobbles, that's a good worm. And that's the main key to catch a fish on a speed worm is that thing is just kind of rolling in the water, almost like guys that throw them big old swim baits.
Right.
Those swim baits, they almost roll in the water. They kind of got that wobble to them, and I think that's what triggers them bass to bite. I think that's what makes it really good.
Yeah, that's a super awesome worm for so many techniques, man. Top water, I throw it top water too.
Oh yeah,
It's a good flipping worm. If that tail ever gets too torn or jacked up, just snipping off, you got a nice, fat
snip it off right out of the bag too. If you got a color that's working, you snip it right off the bag, and you've got a 6-inch Cinco that is ideal.
Yeah,
it's ideal. I've got a lot of fish doing that.
I literally recycle them. Like after the RSB part is out of it, it becomes a Cinco for me, and you can throw it so many different ways. Love it.
Yeah,
love it. So, what you got coming up this weekend, Justin? I understand there's a big event coming.
Fast Break's got a team tournament this weekend, and then the following weekends is a rolling team trail. So Roland Martins is putting one on the following weekend. And then I think me and David are going back up to Kissimmee pretty soon.
Yeah. I think it's first of the month, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got it somewhere. Yeah, I want to say it's around the first of the month. So we'll be back up there. I'm going to spend a little extra time this time around because one thing Justin and I haven't done is picked up them big sticks this year because of the weather. So we've had a lot of moving bites and stuff, and we've had some quality bites. We've been around the winning fish. Just won our day that day, and it's been that way for the 3 tournaments. We've cashed 2 of the 3, so we're doing good there. But yeah, it's time to pick up the big sticks. Reports. The bluegill shell cracker. It's been a popping frog thing up in 2 foot of water, 25-pound sacks. To picking up a big jig right now in the pads. Catching those. Those bigger fish up there feeding on the shell cracker and bluegill right now. So some heavy sacks, man. There's been a lot of heavy sacks, a lot of 25 to 29-pound sacks in the last 3-4 weeks up there. So.
Dang, that is exciting. That is super exciting. This is all shallow water fishing from what you're hearing, huh, Dave?
Yeah, all shallow water. And where Justin and I were around lunchtime, where he missed both bigs at, to the south of us is where the guy ended up winning the tournament. A good friend of ours was sitting there in that hydrilla first thing in the morning, got beat to it, but was educated on a Zero spook by 8 o'clock in the morning. So got to see it all go down, front row seat to his waypoint. Those fish slid down on him, and guy was sitting right on the juice. He had found them a couple days before, and I just – that area has held 2 winning sacks in the last 2 tournaments there. And, it's kudos to the guys that are getting in there, rubbing elbows with everybody, man, to sit down and knock them down. So
now, do you think there's more spots on that lake like that, or similar spots on that lake that are that good holding fish like that?
No, I think what it has to do is the bluegill in those areas because there's pads adjacent to the hydrilla, and I think that's the reason why those heavier fish are sitting in that area, north and south of that lake. Yeah, north side, south side of the lake. It's not really big where we're fishing, and the area that I fished the last 2 tournaments in, it's got bluegill in it, you know, and it's just a timing thing there. But it seems like the fish aren't they're quality fish, but they're not the winning quality fish.
Gotcha.
You know, they're that 20, 22, 23 pound sack sitting there. And right now we got to find sacks that are 28, you know, and that's a big jump when you're hitting 5 fish. So
what do you think? What do you think your strategy is when you're fishing for first versus fishing for bigs? I mean, like obviously you want as many big fish as you can, but is it smart to go get that 20-pound sack and then try to cull up, or is it better to find your big ones when the bite's a little bit more prime in the early morning? Kind of play it out.
It can go either way. Catching a limit of 20 pounds first thing in the morning calms you down.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it'll calm you down, and then you know you need 1 or 2 more big bites the rest of the day to make it happen. So that from a mental aspect, you know, goes a long way. I fish a lot of 1-day tournaments down here on Lake Okeechobee and Kissimmee, and I've always been one of those guys that there'll be a morning bite going on, and you can go out and catch 15 pounds in the morning. But my thought process is I'm going to cull all them fish anyways if I want a chance of winning. So a lot of times I'll go straight for big fish, and there's been times where I got 5 to 6 bites the whole day. You know, 12 o'clock, middle of the day, I'm sitting with 1 fish, just trying to catch 5 big ones. I mean, it's a whole different mentality.
Clutch mentality.
You know,
yeah, but I mean, if it like, you know, to go on what Justin said, you know, when you're in an area and you know there's big fish there, you know, and you might not have hooked a 6, 7, or 8 pounder, but you're hooking, you know, 4 or 5 pounders. You know there's better quality there because when you have those quality of fish, there's something that they're there for, you know.
Right. The forage.
Yeah. Spawn time, you know, they're up there to spawn the he and she, or they're up there feeding on the bluegill shell cracker. So at that time, you know there's fish in the area. So now, you know, like Justin said, you know there's quality there, and you know it's going to be a long day, but you pick up a popping frog like Justin does because big fish will eat it. You know, you pick up a big flipping jig, big fish will eat it. You know, you put a good sized trailer on the back of it, creature or craw. You know, you target those fish if you know that they're there. It's much easier, but it still works. It's still a long day at times. Sometimes it works out perfectly. You know, like Justin just had a hell of a win, and you know, Justin talking about that ABA, man. You finally got that monkey off your back.
Oh man, finally. Yeah. Man, I've come second a couple times and thirds and fourths, and seems like every year I have a couple ABA tournaments where I just come close, and to finally get the eagle, man, was pretty good. Yeah.
The placement's nice.
Oh yeah. Oh, she's on display. I'm proud of her.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we had a lot of momentum going into that tournament, man. Justin had 2 big wins and cashed a check. But
so this weekend you've got the fast break tournament. I want to put up a little bit of information for that real quick. The last one was a good one for you. Yeah. So how do you feel going into this one? Like, is it a similar strategy, or now it's a different fishing cycle type deal going on, or?
Man, this lake changes all the time. Some of the stuff that I was doing, you know, for the last couple tournaments is kind of starting to fizzle out. You know, you get other guys kind of figure it out too, and, you know, they start hitting it. And so, you know, every week this place changes just a little bit. It's not so much that the fish move, it's just fishing pressure a lot of times. It's just relocating them. You know, I'll probably still be throwing the same baits, doing the same thing. It's just putting in the time this week to go out there and find another batch of fish that I think's, you know, good enough to win on.
Right.
So
nice. So same strategy, just locating them. is the key there, huh?
Yeah. I mean, pretty much the whole year. I mean, this place, I usually throw the same things all year. There's a couple key baits that I keep in my back pocket, and you from all the way through the spawn, summertime, all the way to when it starts to get a little cold. It seems like the fish will eat the same kind of baits. You just got to find them, and that's the biggest thing on any lake in Florida is just finding the fish. If you find them, you can figure out how to catch them pretty fast, but it's just locating them.
Yeah.
Right. What is your mental going into locating these fish?
So a lot of it has to just time of the year, watercolor. Watercolor plays a big deal down here in Florida. You want a little bit of clean water. If you pull an area and it's real muddy, you don't want to spend a whole lot of time most of the time. So you want to find clean water. You want to find, healthy looking vegetation, whether that's eelgrass or hydrilla. Peppergrass is a good one too. You want to find something like that, especially in the summer, Kissimmee grass plays a big role too. But, a lot of people get overwhelmed because they come down to Florida and they go out and say Lake Okeechobee, and it all looks the same. Like you go all the way down the north end, down to the south end, it's the same type of grass, same vegetation. So a lot of people get overwhelmed with it. And honestly, man, it just comes down to putting time in on the water a lot of times. You're just, some days I'll go out and I'll say, you know what, I'm going to start here and I'm just going to go fishing. And, I won't crank the boat up the whole day. I'll just take off, and go fish. And you'll find over, the course of the whole day fishing, you'll find like little pots of fish, you'll find like a little group of them here or a little group of them, 100 yards down. And that's kind of the biggest thing is just fishing, finding that clean water, finding stuff that looks good, and just going through it, just trying to locate, okay, where the fish are at. When me and David were fishing last weekend on Kissimmee, there's hydrilla everywhere. Oh, yeah. The whole place is nothing but hydrilla. And, you might fish a mile or two without a bite. But once you get a bite, you kind of want to slow down a little bit. You want to dissect that area because there'll be a bigger school. You know what I mean? There's like a little key deal grass fishing. For some reason, they'll just pick this one little place to hold up on it. And if you find that, that's where the magic can happen.
Yeah, we had two little spots within probably 100 yards of each other. Same two spots I had at the tournament before. It was, you catch a couple fish and then you go nothing, and then you catch a couple fish and then it's nothing. You swing back around and hit those two waypoints again.
Yeah,
and caught fish again, and it was something that we cycled the first tournament, and then the last tournament with Justin. It's something we just kept cycling, and the fish kept getting better and better and better. And I kept telling Justin, I'm like, Justin, it's a patience thing, man. It's, he's like, we got to go get them big fish. And now on a normal day, yeah, we would have probably took off and ran and done some other things and then came back to it. But when you have 30-mile-an-hour winds, it's like, all right, it's time to just grit your teeth, hunker down.
Yeah.
Try some different things. See if you can't get some of these fish to fire off. And they did. If we had another hour, I'm not going to say we would have won the tournament, but it would have been – we would have come in with some more weight. There's no doubt about it. I mean, the last 30 minutes, we caught 2 4s and a 5. The better quality fish started eating. Justin, about 1:30, started popping off 3.5 pounders left and right. So, and we went through that area 5 or 6 times and never even caught that kind of quality. And all of a sudden, the quality started eating. Quality started picking up. And so, I mean, it's something too. Don't ever give up on it. And to go into like what Justin was saying, you put your trolling motor down and fish, and you got to cover water. You fish, you put your time in, and when you figure things out, then it's kind of a reward too. Like this time of year, Justin's experienced, I'm experienced. We know this time of year in the springtime, it's a bluegill thing. We have shad spawn, so those are a couple things we look for. And because we are in Florida, don't shy away from 2 foot of water this time of year either. A lot of the sacks right now, those 27 to 29 pound sacks are coming in 2.5 foot of water because the water's cleaner up there, like Justin was saying.
Yeah.
Now, are those fish that are in that water? Are they more transient, where they're on the move, or are they?
No, they're hunkered in. They're hunkered in around cover. They're hunkered in around cover, but they're around the forage. They're around the forage. Water's a little cleaner up there for like right now. The bluegill are spawning, so the water's a little cleaner, so the bluegill will push up a little more, and those bass will be right with them. And we're getting up there to the 90s now, and a lot of people are like, well, the fish are going offshore, they're dropping deeper, you got to fish deep. It's not the case. That is not the case.
No, I mean they'll be out deep for sure too. But I just hit that Lotella Lake that last Wednesday. I hit finished second place on just a little elite shiner. All the shad were pushed up shallow, and right and left. I caught maybe 40 fish that day just on a little white swim bait because the shad were pushed up shallow in that cleaner water. And they were just loaded in there, and everybody's offshore not catching nothing, Well,
that's what happened with DJ over at Lake Placid. Same thing. Everybody's offshore, and nobody got bit. DJ came back up. He found some shad and put an elite shad on the back of the spinnerbait and just wore him out.
I was going to say, probably, I bet he
forgot about weighing. It's a 2.5 hour tournament, and it's only one fish, your big fish, and he forgot about the weigh-in. He was having so much fun.
No way. That's hilarious.
Buddy, Mike at Lake Placid came by and was like, "Hey DJ, you gonna weigh in?" He's like, "Yeah." He goes, "What time is it?" And he's like, "You got 10 minutes." He's like,
"That's hilarious."
But you get into those flurries like that, man, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
No, I love shallow water fishing, and it's setting up. It's setting up for me, man. Like my time is around the corner. It's been a little bit later than I expected it to be, but it's coming. So,
Justin, let me ask you this, man. I mean, you're out on the water grinding every single day. You have your trips, you have your tournaments.
Yeah.
Is it me, or are you in the same boat as me on this? When I think it's running about a month and a half, 2 months behind this year for some reason. It's a little late. Everything's late this year.
A little bit, yeah. It took a while this year for the bluegill and shellcracker to get going. I know that the spawn, I mean, I don't know about Kissimmee because I wasn't fishing Kissimmee, earlier in the year. But the spawn actually kicked off early down here in Florida. It started around the middle of October, and, November, December, January were actually our best months for the spawn down here. But it seemed like it took the bluegill and shellcracker longer to start doing their thing. I mean, probably within like the last 2 to 3 weeks, I've actually noticed the shellcracker and bluegill actually moving up and really starting to do their thing. I mean, we had a few here and there. Last month you could go through and you'd see a couple beds here and there, but nothing really on them. And I feel like within the last couple of weeks or so, it's really started to pick up.
And for Okeechobee, I mean, if you got some of the listeners on there that's possibly going over to Okeechobee this week or this weekend, what do you suggest them to go do? What to go look for if they're going over there to go fishing this week?
First thing in the morning, go look for some type of a shad bite. The Kissimmee grass on the outside edge is a good place to start looking. The whole north end's got really good looking Kissimmee grass on the outer edge. Throw something like a spinnerbait, little 1/2 ounce spinnerbait, a white swim jig, a white dye dapper, some type of bait that's going to resemble a shad. And they'll be popping in the morning. If you pull up to a Kissimmee grass line and you don't see nothing popping, crank up and go down. You better move, because you want to find them where they're schooling up, and they'll be there somewhere. A lot of times it's pretty simple. You can go to any Kissimmee grass in the morning and catch a few fish. After that, we are getting in the summertime. It is getting hotter. It tends to be more of a grind, but you can catch some big fish flipping a big old jig, or your favorite creature bait, something like that, black and blue. I like to throw a skunk ape, whatever you like. I mean, you can flip reeds and Kissimmee grass. And then if you really want to go hunt some big fish, tie on a popping frog and go shallow. And you might not get a lot of bites, but if you find some bluegill around some beds, there's some big bass around them. You can catch them on a popping frog.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's DJ.
It ain't like you're calling him out there, dude.
Oh yeah. Oh boy. Like, hey, I'll tell you what, man. He's a kid at heart, dude. He'll catch a 2-pounder as well as a 10-pounder, man.
Oh
He
yeah.
loves a hell out of fishing. He's good.
Yeah.
He's a good stick.
And he's a beast on Lake Placid too, for sure.
I don't know about all that, but
yeah. I'll give you some love, DJ.
He can get it done. It's kind of I don't know how you want to put it. Humorous, I guess, when you put fluorocarbon in my boy's hand. I put him up. Hey, look, if he's got braid in his hand, I put him up against anybody. I don't care what it is. You put some fluorocarbon in his hand, boy. You can get some circus music playing in the background, son, because it gets interesting at times, my boy.
Oh man.
So
it looks like
I got my Bass Assassin guys on here, my Bass Assassin family.
we're here.
Split tail shads. Are you seeing those?
Oh.
Uh-oh.
Split tail shads. So they're on a shad tail body. See if we get that. So they're on a regular shad body. He's got that forked tail. So Robin is running freshwater colors in it. We have a bunch of freshwater colors coming.
Yeah.
Now, with that bait is a good spinnerbait trailer, buzzbait trailer, chatterbait trailer, swim jig trailer, just outright with a little jig head, drop shotting
trailer, man.
Drop shotting for guys like DJ, Fish Lake Placid, things like that. So, because he's a drop shotting fool, he loves it very well. So, but that being said, definitely keep your eyes open. They'll be available here in about 2 weeks. They'll be ready to go.
Nice.
Yeah, he's getting them all spun up right now. They should be finished up by Tuesday, I think. Tackle Warehouse is putting them in big time. I'm going to get them into the local shops, Okeechobee and Placid, and up there at Lake Wales, Bridge Masters, and on and on. So definitely keep an eye on that.
What colors is he running? Is there any major colors we need to be looking out for right now that old Dave would have in his tackle bag? Or
Chico's ready, or
the
Owl
I've
Wife.
heard that every single day.
Yeah, the Owl Wife,
first appearance.
The Owl Wife, the watermelon red. The I think he's going to do watermelon slice in it. He's going to do the fugly color in it. I'm interested in that one. I think that's
a good color.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a good little trick right there for especially a chatterbait too. So,
she's like, "What is that?"
Yeah, Andrew, just hold the mirror up, buddy. You'll know what it is.
Oh, come on, man.
Oh, man. That was rough. Hey, Dave is on fire today.
Man. I'm so tired. It took me a minute. I was like, wait, what?
So, but no, it's some of the guys out there, Justin, tournament guys, we talked to Brad Watley, and, we had asked him, what do you do? A tournament angler, what does the grassroots guy, weekend warrior guy need to do to prepare for a tournament? How does Justin prepare for his tournaments to go fishing on the weekend?
Man, I just put some time. I put my time in, man. I put a lot of time in trying to perfect what I'm doing. As far as just going and finding fish, I'll fish hard. I'll wake up 6 o'clock in the morning. I'll put the boat on the trailer, 7 o'clock at night, just trying to find something, figure out something to go on, And a lot of times as a tournament angler, a lot of guys get down on themselves because they don't find something in practice. And, that happens more often than not. You go out there and spend 3 or 4 days on the water and you don't really find what you think you need to be, what you think you need. And to be honest with you, just keeping an open mindset and going out there and just fishing hard and putting it together, sometimes just on the fly. I've actually had more success fishing that way than I have been when I think, when I fish 4 days and I'm like, oh, I'm going to win this tournament. You would think that during the tournament, that would be your better days. But a lot of times just going out there, just going fishing, keeping an open mind, a lot of times, over the years, I've learned to roll with my gut. A lot of people go out and they got this plan, they say, oh, I'm going to fish here, and then I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to go do this. And they kind of stick to that. And a lot of times you'll be fishing during the day and you'll see something, or you'll catch a fish doing something, and your gut will be like, hey, you know what, or your thought will come across your mind, hey, go do this or go try that. And over the years, I've learned to kind of roll with that a little bit more, and it usually pays off.
Yeah. Well, you just recently had that experience up there at Chickamauga in the regionals.
Yeah.
We had plenty of conversations during your pre-fish and stuff like that, and you weren't on anything. And you had caught a couple fish and some hydrilla that weren't anything impressive.
Yeah.
I remember our conversation. You had nothing to go on, and one of the things I told you was, you're comfortable fishing it, go fish it. You might find something in it. And, I mean, you gave yourself a hell of a run in that tournament and had a really good opportunity to do something big in that one.
Yeah, it was something. I learned something new every day. So, I had my first 2 days of practice. I don't think I caught a fish.
No.
And, I learned something new every day, and it kind of keyed me in a little bit more and more each day. And, I just going fishing, man. Just running around the lake, putting it together here, putting a little bit there. And, sometimes it all comes together.
Yeah. Yeah, sure does.
Time on the water is definitely key.
Yes.
Yeah, you had some time on the water last night there, Mr. Joe. Did you just hit one yawning or what? Let's talk about your night, buddy. You had a tournament last night, man.
Listen, it was a lake I knew where there were some beds at, and the little off-air secret that Dave threw at me, Justin, you already know what this secret is with the tap out. And it paid off. It paid off just running it over some bluegill beds. That was my plan. We were running. My buddy was throwing a 2.5, and I was throwing a 5XD for a little bit. And Dave, you popped into my head, bud, and I said, "Let me give it a shot." I didn't have the tackle I needed, but I had something similar to it, and it freaking worked. I can't wait till I go down and see Mike and get what I truly need.
Yeah, that tap out, man. That tap out is truly. Justin and I both, man. We have it on our decks.
Dude, I have an enormous amount of tap out worms in the boat, in my bags, wherever I go. Pond hopping, boat fishing, tournament fishing, fun fishing. I'm bringing the tap out for sure. That's become one of my favorite worms for sure over the years. And now the RSB is creeping up there in a really close second, if not tied for first. What you got there?
That goose.
Oh, the goose, bro.
That's a good bait too this time of year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's
big 11-inch gooseberry, bass assassin worm, ribbon tail.
Mm-hmm.
That's it, boy. That's where it's at.
I like a little bit of that.
Dave, would you throw it on an Alabama rig?
I sent that over to you today. I thought that was pretty funny. So some dude put 5 of those on an Alabama rig, 10-inch worms.
10-inch worms.
How did it look?
Let me see if I can.
I saw them swimming a worm down here before.
Dude, it looked bad. Like, it looked bad.
Yeah.
I would give it a shot.
Dude, we should do it with RSB worms and see what
I would give it a shot. I ain't gonna lie.
Hey, you know what? It might work. I don't know. I've never tried it.
Hey, helicopter down there, bro.
That might fire your fish up there, Justin. That might fire. It looked good.
Andrew, don't even
what hooks do you
I gotta see this.
I don't know, man. You're gonna have to make me a new Reaper rod to throw that thing.
Well, hey, I got one here that'll handle that.
I don't know if my flipping. I got a pretty stout flipping stick bait.
I got a California style. Style swim bait rod here at the house. I got a good rod here at the house.
Listen, Dave made me one, Justin. I'll send it down to you for a little bit. You can borrow it. Oh,
yeah. Look at that.
What the heck?
Look at that.
Hey, man, you know that.
What the I ain't even know. That looks kind of good, man. Like,
I don't know, boy. You throw that around the wrong set of school of fish, boy. You might be in a world of hurt.
Hey,
dude.
You might come back with no wires on a head.
God, I want to try that. I don't know why, but I want to have success on that for some reason. Hey, that looks awesome, dude.
I'm thinking some ditches. I'm thinking some Placid. I'm thinking some June.
Yeah.
Hey,
I've got some piles in about 20 feet of water. I'd love to run that over. I got some deals in
the hook, man. I can't see a weedless hook. I mean,
you're gonna have to let me know how that works.
Justin, I'm curious. Looks like a bunch of little water boxes.
I like trying new things out. That I don't know, man.
Right? The gooseberry chandelier. Come on now, the gooseberry
chandelier.
I'm curious now.
That's awesome.
So is that gonna be your winning bait this weekend?
I tell you what, if I win the tournament on that bait, I'll tell everybody. I don't know, man. Hey,
I could totally see Andrew trying it first. He loves the crazy baits.
Oh yeah, Andrew paddling his Huffy down to the lake and letting it rip on the little ponds in his neighborhood, dude.
Dude, I threw that bat the other night. Thing looks good. I'm not lying.
Dude,
well, listen,
your bat crawler.
Listen, what if you took? I know you're a big poppin' frog guy. What if you took like a wire and made like a spread?
I've thought about it.
Like a triple or like a double popping?
Yeah, double, triple. I think 5 would be killing it, but I think 3.
I've actually had this conversation with a couple of my buddies. Neither one of us have ever tried it yet. But when they get to eating the poppin' frog really good down here, especially during the spawn, I was fishing with one of my buddies one day, and I was like, "That it's back when everybody was catching them on Alabama rig, and up north and stuff, and you watch all those videos." And I got the thought popped in my head one day, and I was like, "Man, it's like I wonder if you could catch more than one." If you just wired them all out there and just pop them back to the boat, But I never tried it, but I might have to now.
Well, listen, in theory, it could work. Sometimes me and my partner will run a double like dapper thing where my dapper's following his, and we both get hit a lot. You ever do anything like that, Dave?
The only thing I've done is the fluke rig.
The twin fluke?
Double fluke rig.
Yeah, that works.
Now, see, when I used to go fishing all the time a while back, my buddy would throw a frog or I would throw a frog, and then we would immediately follow up with like a worm. As soon as you pass that area, you follow up with a worm. I know a lot of guys that still do that, and I mean that's pretty good way, especially if you get a hit on the frog immediately. 9 times out of 10, where we were fishing, they were just trying to kill it. They weren't trying to eat it.
Oh yeah,
but they would eat whatever fell in the
fish
water.
stays right there if you don't feel a hook or whatever. Yeah.
Well, that and I don't have patience, so I see a fish boil, I'm like, yeah.
Wait, Justin does the same thing, dude. It's amazing. It's amazing when you see a big old flash about 6 inches wide.
I know to hold on, but I don't. I know it. It's there. I know I'm supposed to wear my seatbelt, but I don't.
Nah. Justin, what's this little comment about right here before we wrap things up?
What's it? Kiver.
Kyver. He said something about bluegill.
Dude, I took a guy fishing the other day, and we were talking about fish, different, some fish, and he said kiver. He said, "You guys catch kiver down here." And I'm like, "What the heck are you talking about, man? Like, what's a kiver?" And he's like, "You're the fishing guy, man. You should know what a kiver is." I kind of felt dumb, because I was like, "You're right. I am a fishing guy, and I've been fishing down here for years. I don't know what a kiver is." And
yes, it's me.
He said, "Hey, man," he said, it's a bluegill." I said, "Dude, I've never heard that." And I guess up north, that's what they call a bluegill.
Yeah, like Antarctica, like what?
No, man, I can't remember exactly where these guys are from.
South again, Joe.
I can't remember exactly where these guys are from, but it was somewhere up north.
It's got to
be, but not like it wasn't New York or anything like that.
There's a lot of weird things in the Northeast.
Yeah, the Northeast, man.
New England area.
He just left a comment. See, it was Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
They got all kinds of sayings in the Northeast, man.
I've never heard that.
Spent many shows up there.
He called it a kiver, and so the rest of the day he kept every time he would say it, it'd make me laugh, And but dude, those guys were cool, man. We went out, we caught a lot of fish that day, and they had a great time. And and I did too, man. I enjoyed it with them. So
good.
Awesome.
They go home with any reefers?
No, they did, but they fished with them all day. So
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about, man. Having a good time on the water and learning something. See, you do learn something every day, Justin. Now you know what a killer is.
You know what? I fish a lot over the years, but I learn something new every day. You take enough people fishing, and I've learned a lot of stuff from other people.
You had some interesting characters on your boat this year.
Oh man,
had my buddies from Louisiana with all that coon ass talk.
yeah. Old Big Steve went with me this year too.
Yeah,
that dude's a hoot, man.
Oh, Alaska is a trip, man. You cannot go fishing without laughing at that guy. He'll keep you. He'll keep you so relaxed and unfocused because you're laughing.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Well, look, guys, we are at a little over 45 minutes. Justin, I appreciate your time, bud, and your knowledge and everything you bring to this show, bud. You're a big stick, man, and good luck out there Saturday, okay, bud?
Yeah, go ahead and Justin plug your charter, buddy. Get your number.
Yeah, my charter's name is Captain Morgan's Guide Service, and my phone number is 863-634-3450. Give me a call, and we'll go fishing. We'll catch some big ones. So that's about it, man. I'd like to thank some sponsors and stuff. Reaper Rods, Bass Assassin, AFCO. Just everybody, man. Meltra, Lakeshore Marine. Lakeshore Marine's actually been a big help to me over the last couple of weeks. A big help. And, I've been having some engine problems, and they've been getting me in and out. And I actually just talked to Steve today, and I think he's going to be able to get me back on the water for this weekend too. So big shout out to them guys. Big time, man. I want to thank Steve at Lakeshore Marine, Fast Break, just everybody, man. I enjoy you guys. NextFish, this is an awesome deal. I appreciate you guys having me on here. I always look forward to it, and just thank you guys, man. It's pretty awesome.
We'll get you back on, man. What you got going on tomorrow? Are you gonna be busy during the midday?
Tomorrow, I got a fishing charter tomorrow, 6 hours. So I won't be done tomorrow until about 1:30.
Okay.
So, and I would say we could pop something out there on the lake and do it, but my service, man, it's been pretty bad out there, so I don't know how good that would go over.
No, we'll get a hold of you after you get off the water around 3 or 4 or something.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah.
But no, man, I appreciate you. Definitely looking forward to seeing what you do this weekend.
Yes, sir, guys.
Be down there.
Good luck this weekend, brother.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Take care, Justin. Appreciate you, buddy.
Oh man. So Joe, what you got going on right now? I see you look like you're in deep thought.
Just a lot of information there at the end. And I'm still thinking about that freaking A-rig with the worms.
Dude,
I got a lake where I always see these eels at the boat ramp. And
they're all over those lakes over there, man.
Dude, I'm thinking about is like 12-inch worms on the back, black ones. And just dragging it over.
Why couldn't you tandem rig two worms like that?
I want 5, 6 of them. I want the full effect, bro. I want to do it. I want the full effect, bro. Maybe even 12. I just want a bunch of them.
I want to catch me a big old green tuna, man. I'm gonna put all that out there.
No, well, the thing with the eels is they look like freaking that. Like that just blew my freaking Dave. I know you've seen them.
Oh yeah, 100 times over. I think it's a turtle because it looks like a turtle head,
dude. And it's rarely just one.
And
there's generally like 4 or 5 of them just doing their little freaking thing, and I'm doing something to that with that. That's going to get got.
Video or nothing.
Yeah, video or no. I'm doing it.
I'm thinking little ball jig heads or something, little round jig heads.
Yeah, a little 1/8 ounce or something small, maybe even smaller, and just.
Well, you got to have a long enough hook though, man. If you're going to throw a 12-incher on there,
I'll figure it out.
Okay, long enough hook.
Hey, spinnerbait stinger hook.
Oh.
Dude, I'm talking about these from Bruiser.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Out, man. That's ridiculous. This one's 18. 18.5 inches. Like, in God's name.
They remind me
he's
of
talking about having a hook at
like
the beginning part of this bait. There's a little hook slot right there. He's talking about having the hook right there. But this worm, like you need like 7 hooks in this thing.
But you get like a 10-pounder to suck that thing in, bro. It's down.
I know when they suck it in, it all goes in. But it's just like it messes with your mind to think that that's how it actually works.
Dude, those look like
what messes with your mind is the fish you catch on there is only 12 inches.
Yeah.
That's what messes with your mind.
When the fish is smaller than your worm, literally. Like that is
a few times.
They look like gummy worms.
World.
Dude, they don't
like I kind of want to eat them. Like
no, you don't. You don't. You don't.
Nasty bad.
Let me tell you that gooseberry color though looks delicious.
Oh, you ain't throw that yet, huh?
The gooseberry?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, boy, you
I've had
get
experience
it
with
real quick.
No,
you
I've
get
had
it
experience with
real
gooseberry.
quick on that gooseberry in your backyard.
Listen, I thought I haven't even mentioned that word until this year. I'll do it all last year and had really good success on it. That's a great color, man, in all the worms.
5-6 years I've been throwing that thing. Chobe, did June.
I picked it up because of Mike and just got one pack, didn't think much of it. And I threw it around this time last year and oh my goodness. When the bluegill started to show their colors, that thing set off, man.
Really?
Yep.
That was my rotation actually. It was plum apple, gooseberry, and then June bug, black and blue, and down forward from there. But that was definitely my second color.
Interesting.
Around this time, yeah. Sick Kivers. One more time for Connecticut, guys. I've never heard them call that.
That's like the first time I heard someone say grinnell. I've always called it a mudfish or a bowfin, and I heard someone say grinnell, and I was like, what? What does that even mean?
Michigan, we called them a dogfish.
Yeah.
Dogfish? The mudfish?
Yeah.
It's okay. I had a guy yesterday tell me he caught a snakehead up here, and I was like, yeah, no, you didn't. That was a bowfin.
Yeah, so DJ and I.
You thought you did.
We thought we had one, dude. It had a little peacock eye on it, like an aqua and orange eye on the tail, spot on the tail.
Mm-hmm.
What was it?
It was a mudfish, but we thought it was a snakehead. We thought it was a snakehead.
So
the males will get that on their tail, I found out.
I had no clue.
Where I live, there's a lot of clear water little ponds, and they're pretty heavy in those. And every now and again, you'll look in the water, you'll see that orange ring.
Yeah.
And
like the bullseye. It's like the bullseye snake.
Yeah.
What?
It had an orange ring with some teal around it, and the fins had an orange line around them.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with the orange lines on the fins and stuff, like kind of lit up almost, but never with the spot. That's interesting.
Yeah, it had an eye on the tail, man. It was pretty cool. Yeah. DJ and I were like, "What the hell? Is that a snakehead?
We're gonna be famous."
But we had never seen a color like that. So
I'm pretty sure this guy caught a mudfish. Just the way he was talking, but hey, it's 2021, guys. Ain't no telling. Andrew's throwing bats. We got A-rigs with 12-inch worms. Ain't no telling.
Yes.
Oh, man. Well, guys, I'm tired. We all look tired. Oh, what's going on?
Winter Haven chain.
What's Winter Haven chain?
I don't know. Carlos, talk to us. What is this? God.
We need to get Carlos on.
How is he going to drop that right now when we're getting ready to?
I know. Come on, Carlos.
One last cast.
One
last cast, guys.
Do we need to call one last cast? Anybody got any questions?
I'm telling you.
That's what we need to do. Okay, so from now on, when it's time to wrap the show up, I'm going to be like last cast. All right, like last call.
Say what you want to say. Kivers, whatever you want to say. Get it out. Well, Carlos, you're taking too long. Polk County.
Polk County.
Oh, this is the Polk County kayak bass fishing, I would assume.
Okay.
Dave can get on a kayak.
No, look. So
I get off a kayak.
Hey, I'll send a kayak to Andrew. I'd roll that joker, dude. That little sucker had a freaking like a 2-foot trolling motor.
Mm-hmm.
Like a 2-foot long trolling motor on that joker.
Yeah, you can get your seat situated and just foot pedal it.
Damn that, dude. That dude said with the trolling motor with the button. Oh, hell yeah.
That's what I want.
No. I'm talking about just a foot control. Like, yeah, but you still have to turn it. What do you think you're doing? Telekinesis?
Sure.
You still have to use the remote, free up your hands, use the foot pedal.
That's fine. I did. Damn that. Dude, I get around that late. That's a big thing, man. You fish either
we gotta make this happen.
section or you fish a mile section.
Yeah.
That's a big section.
Dude, what you need to look at is Blue Sky Boat Works for you, Dave.
Yeah, Ranger.
No, Blue Sky Boat Works. It's pronounced different than Ranger.
FXR Skeeter. Okay.
No.
Dude, it's sick. It's the Dave kayak.
Let me show you this real quick.
There ain't no Dave kayak, bro.
This is our last cast.
The Harper kayak, yes. Not this Dave. The Harper, yeah. Not this Dave. Not this Dave.
Show him. Show him real quick. Dave, this is like a pontoon. Like, you should be fine.
I ain't even worried about none of that.
Isn't there an engine on this one?
You can put they have a bunch of stuff.
I ain't even worried about that. I'm not going to sit in the water when I can stand on a boat.
Oh, here it is. This is you, Dave, all day long.
Look at it, dude. You've got so much space everywhere. Now you take that little drive out, you put your motor there, and then you've got a foot pedal right there, and you're just cruising.
Hey, look. It's missing a console and a steering wheel.
I don't see no depth finders up front.
I don't see no depth finders.
All I'm saying,
control motor.
All I'm saying is you can 100%.
Look, have you seen the tackle I bring? And look, if DJ's still on here, DJ will tell you, I ain't owning one of those with the tackle I bring to tournaments.
You're like me. My partner hates me, dude. I bring like 4 backpacks.
I hate not having stuff, dude.
He's like, bro,
not having stuff.
He's like, Joe, it's a 3-hour tournament. You're only going to throw one thing. I'm like, hey.
Oh, yeah. That tournament you fish, I'm throwing a 3/4 ounce spinnerbait. I'm putting it on 2 rods, 2 colors. That's all I'm bringing. I ain't bringing anything.
Wait. So
those lakes that you all fish, I'm good. I'm either going to hit it. I'm either going to hit it and win it, or I ain't going to catch none.
Or we ain't going to see Dave come 9 o'clock. Like, where's Dave? He didn't catch none. He didn't catch none. No.
That's it.
We do have I'm telling you, Dave, we got on the books to fish. We got Placid, June, Poga. I think those are our 3 biggest ones. And Crooked. Do you ever fish Crooked?
Oh yeah.
So I'll let you know when those get drawn. Right now, actually tomorrow, guys, I'll be fishing Apthorpe down Lake Placid.
Dude, sorry. Listen.
What is that?
Our guest on Thursday. That's the Steve Austin intro song.
Dude. My boy's birthday today, man.
Oh, God. And it's 9:20. You guys probably.
Man.
So,
can we play the Stone Cold Steve Austin entrance song?
Yeah,
I don't see why we can't.
We're doing it. I'm going to. Like, it's getting played, so he's going to have a sick intro.
I'm going to have a little video clip for him. Don't you worry.
Please do.
I might donate 2 beers.
Yeah.
But, no. All right, guys. I'm done.
Let's wrap it up.
Yeah. Good show, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We will see you Thursday, 8:30.
We will see you there, or we will see you there.
Definitely check in to Thursday.
Yeah.
It's going to be bad.
Andrew's mentor.
It's going to be bad.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Andrew's nervous, so it's going to be fun.
I gotta find a picture of Paul with some bluegill. I know he's got one somewhere. Or just Photoshop it in there. Just 2 bluegill. Kivers. Sorry, Jamie.
Kivers. Hello.
Kivers.
All right, guys. Hey, y'all have a good night. Thanks for tuning in. We are out.
Peace.